Hello, Facebook. It's Tracy. Awesome. So it looks like I am live. I'm going to try and bring this up on my phone. Ooh, sorry, way close up. If you're online or watching the replay, be sure and say hi, say hello, get entered into our drawings. I give lots of prizes away every month, and so be sure to say hi. Let me know you're there, engage with us. We've got a lot coming up right now. And I've got some awesome cards I want to share with you. So, like I said, if you're online, I know it's 7 o'clock already. It's kind of late. I'm back at work, so at least this week. So it was really nice to, it was really nice to be at work today, actually, and be able to see some friends I haven't seen in a while and be able to just touch base with people, which was really nice, much needed today. So I got a lot of work done too, which was important, but that's why I'm jumping on so late tonight. So if you're there, make sure you say hi, say hello. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can pull this up on my live feed here. That way I can see your comments. Perfect. Okay. All right, we're on. Oh, sorry about the close-up. There's something going on with Facebook today. I lost all my special little bubbles and everything that usually pop up on Facebook Live. So I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll roll with it. All right, let me get started here. Hi, Carol. I see you. If you're on, make sure you say hi. Love to see you. A couple of announcements. So first, if you haven't seen, be sure to head over to the TK Crafts Facebook page and check out our Stampin' Up! In Colors. So we are having a special In Color Club. This club is, it's an exclusive club. It starts in July. So you have all of June to sign up for the club. And there's some really neat things you get with the club. So one of the things that come with being a part of the club is every single month you're going to get one new in color. So there are 5 new colors that are being released with this new catalog that comes out June 3rd, and those 5 colors are beautiful. So we've got Bumblebee, Magenta Madness, we've got Misty Moonlight, Just Jade, and Cinnamon Cider. And so you can join that club. If you join the In Color Club, it's $25 a month and you are committing to 5 months. Hi Joan, good to see you tonight. You're committing to 5 months at that $25 price, and then I invoice you at the beginning of the month, actually the month prior I invoice you, and then on the 15th of the month is when you can come pick up or have your items shipped to you, which is awesome. And so that's the In Color Club. It comes with an ink pad, 2 yards of ribbon, 4 sheets of cardstock, 8 6x6 sheets of our colored designer series paper, 4 card bases, so these beautiful pre-made card bases with coordinating envelopes, and then 40 of our In Color enamel dots, and a hand-stamped card from me, all in the color of the month that you get. So each month you're going to get a different color. So one month your color might be Bumblebee, and everything you get is going to be in the color Bumblebee. The next month your color will change until in 5 months you have everything, right? You've got every single ink pad, every single ribbon, all of the colors. So it's a nice way to space it out and kind of save a little money, so you're not buying it all up front. And then in November, which is our last month, you'll also get 2 additional yards of our Bumblebee gingham ribbon, which is absolutely gorgeous. So that's the In Color Club. I also have an Ultimate In Color Club just for anybody who wants that extra. That's $45 a month. So you get everything I just talked about, the ink pad, the ribbon, the 4 sheets of cardstock, the DSP, the enamel dots, the envelopes and cards, plus you're going to get 2 Stampin' Blend markers, so you'll get the light and the dark of the Stampin' Blend that matches your color. You're going to get an ink refill bottle, so that's awesome too because you'll have the refill to go with it. And you're gonna get 4 sheets of our 6x6 Flowers for Every Season designer series paper. All of that coordinates with your color collection, so it'll actually match really beautifully with those 5 colors. And then in November, your bonus is the 2 yards of Bumblebee Gingham plus 4 additional sheets of designer series paper from the Flowers for Every Season. So you'll have the entire collection of the Flowers for Every Season designer series paper, plus a half a pack of our basic pearls, since they match so well. So it really is a good value when you do the math. You're actually saving money every month by joining the club. Obviously, you're saving on the tax and shipping as well, because that's all bundled in. So please, if you're interested, sign up. The link is on our website, and you can do it right through the TK Crafts website. There's a link there for you to sign up. But it's such a good value. Can't beat it. The other thing we have coming up is we have 2 events coming up. So the first event is our catalog launch. So we are having an in-person catalog launch party. That's going to be on June 13th. And along with the open house new catalog party, we're also going to be doing our buy one get one event, which is awesome. So I will have all of my retired product available for sale. It'll be all at retail cost. You'll purchase whatever you like from my retired collection. So I have a ton of stamp sets and dies, paper packs, all kinds of wonderful things. But they're all retired items. And whatever you spend for that of the retired items, you're going to get that much in credit to spend in the new catalog. So if you spend $50 on retired product, you're going to get a $50 credit to spend in the new catalog, which is awesome. So it's basically buy one get one, right? You're getting a really great deal. You're going to need to take home some stamps with you right that day, and then you're going to order some, and they'll arrive in a few weeks. So that's awesome. Also, with the open house, I'm staggering times. So I want to make it safe for everyone. I want everyone to feel like they can come. So when you go to sign up, there's actually a sign up link. You have to choose a slot of time to come. I do have some slots where it's only one person, and it'll just be you and me, and we will do our make and takes together. You'll get your catalog, and you'll have a personal shopping experience. And that's just because some people are high risk right now and feel more comfortable with that. I have some slots that have 2 people available and some slots for 3 people. So if that's something you're interested in, you want to join us, it's a free event. You're going to get your new catalog with you, you're going to get your make and take, and then you're going to be able to do some shopping with us. So be sure to sign up. I don't have an unlimited number of slots. Once those go, whatever's left for our BOGO, I will post for about a week and make that BOGO available online as well. But obviously you get first dibs if you're here at our event. The next event we have coming up is July 10th. Excuse me. Oh, I need my water. So July 10th, we have bingo. So I have been putting bingo off for like 4 months now. So we're going to go ahead and do bingo. Bingo is going to be a little different this time though. We're only having 8 people, so we're capping it at 8. We're going to put 2 people to one table. We're not going to do food. We're going to go ahead and make it so we're going to use a lot of social distancing and be appropriate, and so people feel like it's a safe environment. So we'll go ahead and have our make and takes, our cards that we make, and then we're going to have bingo, lots of prizes. The other way you can join us though is you can do the online bingo. So we're actually going to have my TV set up. We're going to Zoom, and whoever's joining us online will participate just as if they're in the room with us. What we'll do is you'll actually get your packet a few days in advance. Inside your packet will be your bingo cards and your make and takes. So you'll actually make your make and takes with us. The only disadvantage is you won't have access to the stamps. So I will let you know ahead of time what stamp set that's going to be in case you want to pre-order it, or you may already have it in your collection. And I'll limit it to 1 to 2 stamp sets at most, probably just 1. And then we'll we'll all play bingo together. And that way it doesn't matter if you're online or if you're there in the house with us, you'll all have a chance to win. It'll be a lot of fun. So that is going to be July 10th. Please sign up for that online, or you can send me an email, but that event is coming up as well. All right, let's get to some card making. I'm going to put this away. I'm going to flip the camera now. Again, if you're online, be sure and say hello. Love to know that you're joining us. Here's my stamps. All right. And we're going to go ahead. Oh. What's going on here today? There we go. That should be enough room, I hope. We'll check that in a minute. Make sure that's okay. Hopefully you're not tilted. I feel like you're tilted here. All right. So you can see these are the stamps the cards we're going to be making today. So we've got A Good Man, which is the set we're going to be using. I love this set. It is coming into the new catalog, so it's carrying over, which is awesome. So we're going to use that today to make our 2 cards. And we're going to be making both of these cards today. I love these. They look simple. Well, this one's a little more complicated than this one. It looks simple, but it really does have some really awesome components to it. So a few fun things I want to share with you. We're going to start with our old olive card. So we're just starting with an old olive card base. I'll get my pieces here and my directions. And we're going to be using our blends today to just kind of brighten these cards up. So we're going to start with a piece of old olive cardstock. This is 8.5 by 5.5. And then we're going to go ahead and use our bone folder and just crease that. I actually use my my score blade on my trimmer, my Stampin' Up! Trimmer, to score it first. I just think that gives it a really nice finished edge, and then you don't get that creasing that you sometimes get if you try and fold it over. So just something to think about when you're doing yours. I'm then going to take a piece of our new designer series paper. So this is brand new. You can order it starting January 3rd, January, a little off, June 3rd. Don't mind me. It must be late. Must have been a long day. How was your guys' day? Was it busy too? I imagine. So we're going to start with this piece of paper here. This is our new designer series paper. This is the Misty Moonlight. I love this color. And we're going to take, oh, let's get some more light over here. Oh, that looks better. So we're going to take our designer series paper. We're going to cut it, let's see, what am I cutting it to today? To 4 by 5.25. And when I adhere it on, I'm not going to adhere any, not going to put any adhesive on the corner. So you kind of got to know which is going to be your right corner. So you're just going to kind of flip it over. I'm going to hold on to it so I remember I am not putting adhesive on that corner. And that's because we're going to flip that corner up just to give it a little bit different effect. So as you're placing this on, one of the easiest ways to place it on is to just about midpoint, put your fingers right inside until you get it matched up exactly where you want it, and then lay it down. So you can see my corner lifts up nice and easy there. The next thing I'm going to do is cut a piece of old olive cardstock, and we're going to cut this to 3.5 by 4 3/4. And I'll post these dimensions on the blog so you can see those. I better set this aside or I might glue something. And that's just going to kind of set aside for now. And then we're going to take a piece of Whisper White and cut that down to 3.25 by 4.5. So you'll see these will lay on top of each other really nicely. There's a 1/4 inch difference on both sides. And that's kind of the way I do my measurements. So anytime I'm measuring down, I just measure down 1/4 of an inch. And that gives me a really nice impression when I'm doing that. You get a nice edge around the outside. So we're going to start with, there's so many good stamps in this set, right? I'm going to use this one. It reminds me of my husband and my daughter. And so I'm going to, where did I put my ink? You know, I set it down somewhere and, oh, I put it away where it goes. So we're using Memento ink today. Memento ink is great. It is a dye-based ink, and so when you use it, it's great to use with your Stampin' blends because it's not going to smear or smudge, which is really nice too. So I like to take, Memento has a thicker pad. It's not squishy like the rest of our ink pads. It's a little bit different. And so it has a nice hard thick pad. Usually what I do is, because it's raised off of the pad, I take it to the stamp instead of taking the stamp to the ink. I can also see then if I get a nice crisp image. All right, so I'm going to stamp this to the left side of our card, our Whisper Weight. There we go. Oh, that turned out really good. I just love that Memento ink. I think it's such a crisp black that always looks so good when you use it. And we'll set that aside. We're going to use that in a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and color on it. So I chose a few colors that I thought would go well with this particular card. I did use the Old Olive, so I'm going to use that. I've got the light and the dark soft suede. I'm going to start by doing their hair in the soft suede. And for this card, I'm just going to outline it. So you can see on my other one, I just outlined the picture. I didn't actually fully color it in. I just thought that would give it, kind of make it pop. Without filling it in. Now you can fill it in. The other really neat thing you can do with this too is you can watercolor with it. So we could have stamped this on watercolor paper, use some StazOn ink, which is our other black ink. And our StazOn is really great when you're watercoloring. It's not going to run. I could have used that StazOn ink and then watercolored with my ink pads. I just use my ink pads. I use a water brush and do some watercoloring right on them. And it looks great too. I think there's a lot of different effects you can get. So I'm going to color in their hair with that lighter color. My daughter has really light blonde hair. I'm going to give, I want this to look, I'll do his shirt in this Old Olive color. And matches the paper. And all I'm doing is tracing around the lines. I think that's one of my favorite things about Stampin' blends is really, really can't mess it up. I try. But they're so great because it just gives it a little bit of color. It really brings out the stamp. And then you can get multiple colors on your stamp. And they blend so nicely. So if you are coloring with them, you can't beat the color. I mean, it's just beautiful when you blend it all together. I'm going to use the dark suede on his pants. Seems like a good color for pants. So I was just telling everyone I got to go to work today. I work in school finance. That's my other job. This is my favorite job, but my other job is in school finance, and so we're working on plans to reopen schools, and so we've been super busy working with all the principals, figuring out what that's going to look like. It's kind of crazy right now. Does anybody have kiddos in school? How is that going? It's been a crazy semester. I am ready for them to go back to school. They are ready to go back to school. I think they can't wait to be able to step back in their buildings, right, and be with their friends again. I'm going to color in the shoes here. Okay, so there's not a wrong way to do this. It's just whatever you want it to look like. So I'm going to give her a pink shirt because it's my girl, and that's definitely her. So is everyone else working yet back at work? I know I'm still pretty much working from home. The kiddos are home with me, so just this week, today and tomorrow and Friday, I'm going in, and that way I can help get everything set up. We can start to kind of make plans for, in Arizona, and most of you are probably in Arizona, but I'm from the Northwest originally. I'm from Oregon, and school in Oregon starts in September. So when I moved here and I found out school starts in August, like August 1st is our opening day. It was a little shocking to me. I was like, what? That's a little early, right? But it is not. Now I'm used to it. I've been here 14 years, so just used to starting school. All right, and I just used a light gray. This is the gray granite for the bottom. So you can just do so much with Stampin' Blends. I love them. So I'll set these aside. And so you can see we've colored in just outlined our picture here. We're going to go ahead and adhere that right on top of our old olive cardstock. Hello, I see some friends watching. If you're watching, say hi. Let me know you're there. Give me hearts and likes and all that good stuff. I mean, if you think it's cute. And then anybody who's watching, just know if you comment, you get entered into a drawing for lots of fun Stampin' Up stuff. So I've got ribbon and paper and all kinds of good stuff to give away. So make sure you say hi. Hi, Maury. It was so nice to see you today. I got to see Maury at work today. It felt like forever since I've been able to see her, so that was super nice. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cut some just scrap pieces. So I've got an extra scrap piece here, and we're going to make some banners with them. I don't know, do you guys store your scraps? Are you at all like me, or am I just a hoarder? It could just be me. I'm a little bit of a hoarder. So here is my scrap box. And it is organized though, I promise. Every color or color family has its own bag. So like there's Berry Vanilla and Whisper White, and here's all my greens. So when I need a piece of cardstock that is a particular color, and you know the nice thing about Stampin' Up, right? All our colors match. They all look beautiful together. So the ink is going to match, the pens is going to match the paper, all that good stuff. So I know this is like OCD of me, but so I have my little bag. I can go in and find a piece of scrap paper because I don't want to cut an entire piece of cardstock just for a little bit of old olive, right? So that is you saw my secret stash. This is how I keep all of my scraps. I used to keep them in big drawers and have to sort through them, and I just got tired of it, and now I actually do throw away little pieces. You'd be proud of me. The little pieces do go in the garbage, but the tiny ones, I should say, the littler pieces just go in the scrap bag, and I use them later. So I'm going to use our Stampin' Trimmer. This is my favorite, probably my favorite tool that we have. Everybody tells me I cut backwards, so I cut upside down. So most people put their paper up here and then they trim up, or they'll trim down from there. I actually put my paper at the bottom. I don't know why. I think it's just you've done it for so long, you don't know any better. So we're going to cut this cardstock to 1 1/4. So I've got a nice strip of 1 1/4 here. And then that 1 1/4 I'm going to cut down to 3 1/4. So just a short little strip of old olive. So see, that's great. And I'm going to take these 2 pieces now and I'm going to put them back in my scrap pile so I can use them for something else. It's great. All right, I'm going to cut this extra piece of designer series paper that we have in that Misty Moonlight to 1 1/4. And I'm going to make this a little bit longer, so I'm going to cut it to 3 3/4. And again, I'm going to save that because I'm sure I'll use it for something. I love scraps. I never have too much paper, which is a problem. I have a lot of paper. We're going to make these into like little flags. So in order to do that, little banners and little flags. Somebody taught me a long time ago, the best way to do it is you're going to cut the middle just to about where you think you want the flag to be. And then you're going to take and cut in from each side to the top of your cut. So I'm going to try that here. And usually, you knew I was going to do this on camera, right? Usually, get a pretty good cut out of that. There we go. And it's pretty even. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. It's just your little banner here that you're using. Actually, I think it looks pretty even. All right, we're going to do the same thing with your designer series paper. We're just going to cut to the fold there. Oh, that was a much better cut. And cut to the top. And then you've got a cute little banner. Super easy, but it gives your, gives it a little something. If you're OCD, I am too. I store my scraps exactly that. Yay, Joan, I'm so glad somebody else does. You gotta have them organized, right? I can't stand it when they're not organized. And to be fair, I started organizing them by color, and I had so many bags that it was just getting ridiculous. And so then I switched it up and I was like, okay, I'll do it by color family. And so that made a little more sense, right? So we're going to use being a good dad starts with being a good man. I love that sentiment. Hi, Jen. Nice to see you. It is not late. We're only on the first card. But yes, I mean, it's late. It's 7 already. That's kind of late. So we're just going to stamp our sentiment. Again, we're just using Memento Black. That's my favorite. Pretty much going to use that tonight. It comes with a little heart in the stamp set as well. I love this heart. It's perfect. So we're just going to end our little flag there with a heart. I love it. Set that ink aside because you know I will stick my elbow in it and get ink all over my fingers if I don't. Then we're going to go ahead and just adhere our little banners here. So we're just going to use some snail adhesive, stick that right to the top, and get that kind of right close to the image here. And then we're going to take our sentiment and do the same thing, put it right up to the top. Okay, and it's just going to overlap that. So that's it. That's our sentiment for the front of our card. We're going to go ahead and take and put adhesive on that as well. And this time I'm going to push it up to the top left corner. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of that blue showing in the top left corner. And that way I can give this corner down here that I didn't adhere. Remember, we didn't stick this corner down. We're going to go ahead and just fold that up. And it's just going to give it a little something, right? Like, you can see the other side. I love it because you can see the other side of the designer series paper. It just gives it some interest. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little. I'm going to use my bone folder and just make sure that sticks down. I'm going to finish it with just one of these little pearls. These, we have gold and silver pearls that come in a pack together. Ooh, that one just came off right in my finger. Normally I'd use my Picket tool, but it came off right in my finger there. So we'll just put that in the corner. And then I feel like it's finished off. So that's our first card. What do you think? I think my husband would love to get that for Father's Day. So I love the picture of the little girl. You can use different images. This would work really well with the image of the little boy on the shoulders too. Or if your kiddo has long hair, right? Could be a little boy too. So that's our first card. Super simple, but I think once you put all the components together, I love it. Get a lot of bang for that one. Did you like this one? Anybody? I hope so. I love those colors together too. That Misty Moonlight with the Old Olive, such a good combo. I love blues and greens together. All right, we're gonna make our other card here. Now this one is pretty, the other one had lots of designer elements, some designer series paper, we had some banners we made and some coloring. This one's gonna be a little simpler, except we're gonna use a little bit different technique today. So I'm gonna show you some fun techniques with this. So we're just using a piece of Whisper White cardstock. It's 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half, and that's our card base. Just check and make sure I don't get ink all over me. We're gonna then cut a couple pieces of cardstock down. So we're gonna cut a black piece of cardstock to 4 by 5.25. And then we're gonna step down again. Remember, we're just stepping down 1/4 every time. So now we're gonna do 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And so you'll see they'll all layer nicely on top of each other once we have them all put together. And I love that black and white, just makes it stand out. So we're gonna set those aside for right now, and we're gonna take our white piece and we're gonna do our stamping on our white piece. So on this one, we're gonna use, again, that Memento, because we're gonna go ahead and use our blends to color it. We're gonna use our, I love this image of the guy just kind of lounging, right? Isn't that what every dad wants to be doing on Father's Day? Lounging in the chair, maybe by the pool. That's where I would like to be. All right. Do you guys have any Father's Day plans? I know we've got a little bit of time. I feel like I had to like start it now, or I was afraid I would forget and not get my Father's Day stuff done in time. Do any of you have any big plans for Father's Day, or any particular gifts you're gifting? I have not decided yet. I don't know what we're doing. I might just give my husband a day to himself, right? He got a motorcycle last month, and so I'm sure he would love to take it up north and just ride for the day in peace and quiet. Maybe we'll throw a little bag of snacks together for him and send him on his way. That, and then a big meal when he gets home, something he loves. So we stamped the image down at the bottom left, giving us enough room to kind of put our sentiments and stuff here. So we're going to decorate this one with some brighter colors. I decided it needed some bright ones. And we're going to fill it in the whole way. So I want to show you the difference. With Stampin' Blends, you can color all the way in too, and kind of gives you a different look. So I'm going to start with, I'm using Light Petal Pink for the skin tone. Partially because my husband is, he says his Indian name would be white like mayonnaise, because he is very white, and when we go anywhere, like he starts his morning by using sunscreen. So every single day, it's the first thing he does, even in the winter, is he makes sure and puts sunscreen on. So this gives you a nice, you know, flesh tone color. You can definitely use some of the darker tones too. I think we've, if you look at some of our lighter brown tones, I think they make good flesh tones as well. All right. Ooh, my phone is blowing up over there. Yay. All right. So, ooh, don't forget the neck and the face, which is covered here by this awesome hat. definitely dress up the hat here. All right, so finish that one. I'm gonna do his shirt. We use some bright colors. So this is our Daffodil Delight, and I'm using the dark, and I'm gonna use that for his shirt. So I'm just gonna go around and color this all in. And it's super simple. The nice thing is it has two different tips. There's a brush tip, and then there's your standard marker tip, your felt tip. I am using the brush tip. You can get a lot more coverage that way. You do need to be careful if you're doing that in a smaller space. You probably want to use the marker tip. Like I said, you get good coverage. And because these are alcohol markers, you're not going to get streaks on them. They're going to blend really nicely and beautifully in to whatever you're working on. Oh, I love that yellow. That is so pretty. Such fun, bright colors. I love yellow. Have you seen the new in colors? Well, you've seen one because we just did the Misty Moonlight blue. Does anyone have a preference? Do you love any of the particular new colors? I love the magenta. I think the Magenta Madness, I don't know, Bumblebee is really awesome too. It's a great yellow color. I feel like the magenta, we've been missing that though. Like we didn't have that color in pink. And I tend to use a lot of pink for some reason. So I was really excited about that magenta. I'm going to use this dark soft suede for the hat. Again, I'm just going to use the brush tip and come around, color that all in. Nice dark brown for the hat, right? Sitting out in the sun. I left a little bit of room for the brim. I'm going to come in with this blue. And this is the light peacock. And put that there as well. All right, I'm also going to do the chair. The chair needs a little something, right? So I'm going to take soft seafoam and just color every other for the chair. Get it all decorated up. And then I'm going to take the darker of the soft seafoam, and I'm using the brush tip, or the marker tip. And again, that's because that gives me a lot more control. And then I can get around some of the spots here. There we go. Yeah, just makes it stand out a little bit. I like it. And then lastly, I'm going to give this, I just realized, maybe that's not as easy to see. Maybe that's better. All right. I'm going to go ahead and give the sand a little bit of kind of a sandy feel to it. I'm just going to do that by taking the marker and just following the lines here. I'm not doing anything fancy. Just kind of coloring around the lines, filling it in. And that's our crumb cake, the light crumb cake. So I've got that colored. I love that. It stands out, it looks good. I'm happy with that. We're gonna go ahead and stamp our sentiment, and we're gonna have two sentiments on this one. So we're gonna be using It's Your Day and Relax Your Way, right? They go together. So we're gonna start with Relax Your Way. And I'm gonna stamp this again in the Memento ink. Just ink that up. Try and get this as straight as I can. All right, relax your way. And now I'm going to cut out just a black circle. So you can do this from one of our punches, are great to cut a circle. I used the stitched shapes. So stitched shapes comes with circles. Let's see, it's got all kinds of awesome stuff in here. Comes with circles, ovals, and squares. And they're great because they start from small to big. You can layer them. we're using the smallest circle that's there. It's about 1.5 inches. And you can see I've cut that out, and you can kind of see where it's all stitched around the edge. Hopefully you can see that. And we're going to stamp It's Your Day. So on the card I made earlier, I used white StazOn. So white StazOn is our Whisper White Craft ink. It's a thick ink, and when you put it on, it almost has a chalk effect, right? So it kind of gives you the look of chalk on when you stamp on a dark color. You can definitely see the image, and it stands out. What I'm going to do is, instead of using that, I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss for you today. So if you're not familiar with heat embossing, this is probably one of my most favorite things because it just gives your stamp a different look. It's going to stand out. You're going to be able to feel it. It's almost plastic, like I don't know how else to describe it, embossing, but it's almost like a melted plastic on top, that these tiny little beads that stick to your stamped image, and then you heat them up and they make this really cool raised image from whatever you stamped. So you do need a couple things before you stamp. So I'm using some scratch paper here. My kids like to draw for me. Do your kids do this? Anybody? Oh, you store yours in a color. I was just looking at Jen's comment. I got distracted. So that's a good idea, Jen. I like that accordion. So I'm using my kids' drawings. Isn't this cute? Bark, bark. This is my son. He drew that. They draw me so many pictures, and I feel bad when I toss them. So I'm just going to reuse them in a new way. So I want a piece of scratch paper underneath me. I am going to use Versamark ink. You can use other pigment inks. In fact, you could even use our StazOn White if you wanted to do that. But Versamark is a watermark ink that has a stickiness to it. It eventually dries and just leaves a watermark. But it has a nice stickiness to it that basically allows anything to stick to it. It's going to allow our embossing powder, or our embossing powder to stick to it. So I'm going to use, this is a Stamp Buddy. You can get these on Amazon. Basically it's a fine powder that keeps it the static away. So your powder that you're using, your embossing powder, will only stick to where you put the ink. We did sell these. I believe they are sold out, and they are not in the new catalog. So I did not see a Stampin' Buddy in there. I was really surprised. But like I said, you can get them anywhere. They're great. You can use a dryer sheet. A lot of people use like a used dryer sheet, or there's a variety of different things you can use to keep your embossing powder from sticking. So we're going to ink this up. You're going to see it's clear, so it's not going to show much. And I'm just going to stamp it right in the middle. Hopefully my head didn't get in your way there. All right, and you can see it a little bit when it's on here. I'm going to put this away. And you've got a little bit of time before this dries, so you're okay. I'm going to just pour the powder right on top. Make sure that gets good and coated. I haven't embossed in a while. I was so excited to pull my embossing tool out. You can see, because I used that Stamp Buddy, that nothing stuck to the rest of the card except where I wanted it to. And so if you feel like there's not enough on there, you can go and put a second coat. You don't want to stamp it again, but you can put a second coat of powder on top. We're going to set that aside for right now, and I'll use that to clean up in a minute. You can see I creased the paper, so that's going to allow me to really easily put that powder back into the jar, which is important. You want to do that. Also, when you're using embossing, heat embossing, you have to have a heat embossing tool. Now, Stampin' Up! Has a really nice one. I have not got it yet. It's on my list. So I'm just going to use my old heat embossing tool that I've had for a really long time. I am going to use my tweezers They're around here somewhere. Because it will get hot. And so if you have something small like this, you probably don't want to have your hands on it. You want to be able to move around a little. So it's going to get a little noisy. I'm going to heat it up here real quick. You can feel it gets hot. All right, I'm going to heat the back. I'm going to heat the front. And you'll start to see it melt. And that color comes out. Woohoo! All right, and it's that simple. And as soon as you start to see it melt, you're done. All right, can you see that okay? Oop, I'm out of the camera there. There we go. It's so cool, and it really stands out, right? Now you've taken that image and really made it pop. Okay, so I'm gonna take that, and it gets, oh yeah. Oh, and you can rub your finger over the top, and it does. It feels like plastic. I don't know how else to describe it. It's embossing. So we're gonna take that, and we're gonna take our image, and we're gonna adhere all of this together now. So I'm gonna take my snail adhesive. Whoa, I knew that was gonna happen. I just ran out. It's okay, I got an extra one sitting on the corner here. Look at this refill pack. So the snail adhesive, if you haven't been online lately, just so you know, the snail adhesive is not returning. So it is on last chance. So if you love it, please, please, please get some because you're gonna want it. I stocked up because I love it. And I use it all the time. You can see how easy it is to change the refill. Oh, so easy. Just toss that out. They are coming out with a new product though, so there will be an adequate replacement. And in fact, people are telling me it's even better. So I haven't got a chance to play with it yet. I'll get some as soon as we can order from the new catalog. I'll make sure and get my hands on some of that too. So I'm going to just adhere this to the center. Oh, I love it. I'm going to adhere. I just love the simplicity, right? It's black and white. It's not, yeah. I like the simplicity of it. The color in it really stands out. My finger slipped there. Here we go. All right. And now you can do a couple different things. I love that it's stitched. I think you can kind of see the stitching through it. I think that just looks so nice. I'm not even going to pop it up. I didn't use a single dimensional tonight. Are you kidding me? How is that happening? Hi, Evelyn. I'm so happy to see you. All right. So we are going to just adhere this right over the top of our other sentiment. And that's it. We have finished our card. It's simple, but I love it. I think it has a lot of really neat elements to it. You've got your coloring, and it really makes your sentiment stand out. So what do you think? Did everyone like these today? Do you feel like they're cards you can recreate? You can do this, I promise you. Embossing always scared me for the longest time. I was like, oh no, one more tool, one more thing. Does anybody else emboss? Do you guys like it? Like I said, I used to be afraid of it, but as soon as I got my tool and started playing with it, I was like, oh, why didn't I do this sooner? This is so easy. And it really is, I promise. And it does. It really stands out on your card. You can see. I mean, I love the look of the chalk, you know, that kind of chalkboard look. But you can see when you use embossing powder just how much that stands out. And I love it because, again, stamp it up, they do it right, it all matches. So it looks great. That's okay, Carol, we're gonna get you embossing, I promise. I have it all. Oh, you haven't? Too intimidated. Oh, Jen, I promise you, if I can do it, you can do it. I was really scared of embossing, but it really, I mean, look at it. It looks so cool when you do it. So it really just adds something to your cards. I love it. I need to do it more often. I need to just leave this sitting on my desk and then I'll use it more. All right, so those are our cards for tonight. Don't forget that if you place an order with us online, make sure you use our host code. That's always online as well. I'm going to post these tonight. I'll get pictures up and directions and all of the supplies listed on the blog, and there'll be a link right at the top of your screen. So you can just click on that, watch the replay, come back, click on it, and it'll take you right to all the dimensions, and you can recreate this card for yourself, and you've got plenty of time to start working on some Father's Day cards. So hopefully this has inspired you to do just that. 75 embossed. Wow, Joan, that's amazing. That takes patience. I sat down once and I don't know, we had this wild idea. We had 50 kindergartners that year, and we thought, my assistant principal and I, we thought, we're gonna emboss all the kindergarten graduation, announcements, right? So we only sent one per family, but that was 50. By the time her and I were done with 50, we're like, why? Next year we are ordering cards. And we did. We ordered cards next year. We actually had someone make them for us, and they were amazing. But yeah, that's a lot. You're a brave lady. All right, guys, I had a great time tonight. Thank you for staying up with me. Definitely check out the website. Check out those events that are coming up. I can't wait to see you guys. I miss you so much. It's just not the same, right? I'm talking to myself here. Well, I'm talking to you because I see you, which is awesome. But I miss seeing you in person. So hopefully we'll get to do that soon. Or like I said, if that's not your comfort level, join us for online bingo. You can't beat that, right? You can do it from the comfort of your home. You could wear your pajama pants and we would have no idea. And you can play bingo with us and make cards. So it'll be super fun. All right, ladies, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'll be back on Friday. I miss you all. Blessings on your evening. I'll be thinking about you. Have a great night. Bye, guys.